Hi, first grade. Happy Friday. I actually just finished talking to most of you, doing our Mega Zoom. That was really fun with the Cardinals trivia. I enjoyed that. But now it's phonics time. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about phonics today. And Rashid, found him the other day, and he was sitting in my chair, as he sometimes does when I am not in my office. And he said to me, I'm feeling really sad and bummed out. Like, Rashid, it's not like you. And then he told me he was feeling really embarrassed. I said, Rashid, what in the world do you have to be embarrassed about? I mean, you work hard, you're a good lion, you listen to your lion parents, you're a good guy. And he said, I've been making a lot of mistakes in my writing. I said, Rashid, that's nothing to be embarrassed about. We all make mistakes. And I said, can you show me some of the mistakes you've been making? And so he took me through his writing, and we kind of looked at them, and I thought to myself, these mistakes that Rashid is making, a lot of first graders make the exact same mistakes as Rashid. And he's just a first grade lion, so of course he's going to make those mistakes as well. And we talked last time about bloopers, right? Bloopers are kind of just funny mishaps that happen, funny mistakes. And when bloopers happen, we're not like laughing at people, because usually when a blooper happens, that person's laughing too. We're all laughing together. But there's some major bloopers in our first grade writing that we need to look at and fix, right? Just like Sully and Mike, when we were watching that blooper performance or that blooper outtake, they would laugh too when they made mistakes. So let's take a look at some of the marvelous bloopers that first graders make in their writing. And so I want to show you one example. Take a look at this word, because this is a blooper that I often find in first grade writing. What is it? What do you think it is? I will give you a hint. When first graders write this, they do not mean to say cut. Ignore my dog. I don't know why she's yelping. Yeah, you know what? What first graders are trying to write when they write this word, almost always, do you guys have a guess? They're trying to write the word cute. But in their writing, and in Rashid's writing, when I looked at it earlier, I would see this, cute. Well, it looks like it, when I'm stretching it out, it makes sense, but it doesn't look right. And it's a word that I've seen in Rashid's writing spelled over and over again incorrectly. So just a blooper that we need to fix. It's something that kids spell incorrectly a lot. And so we need to remember when we hear that U sound to put an E at the end, like just a little blooper that we have to fix. So here's another blooper that's really important that we fix. I want you to take a look at it. I was looking through some writing of my students and some of the other teachers' students, and of course, my buddy Rashid here. I was looking through some writing, and I found these 3 words. Now, here's the funny thing. They're all the same word. Isn't that weird? Take a moment and see if you can figure out what these first graders were trying to write. Any guesses? Let me show you. Whoops. Guys, these first graders were trying to write the word first. I saw this for first, I saw this for first, and I saw this for first. We kind of forgot and didn't hear that there was an I in that word. Now let's think about it for a second. First. Do we even hear an I? We don't, do we? We hear this R sound, but not an I. Hold on a second. I'm going to deal with my puppy. So as we're looking at this word, I want to show you a few others that I came across. So one of the words that I came across that first graders often kind of misspell or have a blooper is the word bird. So I'm going to move the word bird over here. And I'm going to show you all the different ways that I have seen bird spelled in first grade writing. Do any of these look familiar? Yeah, this is the right one, B-I-R-D. But we don't hear that I in bird. We hear B R-D. And if you were in kindergarten, I would say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. You wrote your beginning, your middle, your ending sound. It's beautiful. But you are not in kindergarten. You're in first grade now. And we have to remember that it couldn't be this spelling because words have vowels. Syllables have vowels. This doesn't have a vowel. And here it looks like we tried to add some vowels in, but nothing looks quite right. Let's take a look at the next one. This is the word card. This is how it should be spelled. Let me show you how I see it in first grade writing. Card. You know, it's tough because we just hear that R in the middle, right? And so it's hard to figure out. We know there has to be a vowel, but we're not sure what the vowel is or where the vowel goes. Here's the next one. Storm. Here's how I see storm spelled. Okay. Again, this is kind of the kindergarten way, right? No vowels. And then we realize, well, we had to have a vowel, but we don't know what vowel, and we certainly don't know where the vowel goes. And here's the last one. Torn. Let's take a look at all the different spellings. And it's kind of the same thing, guys. Here's kind of the kindergarten way to spell it. Torn. But we know that can't be right because there's no vowel. And again, we're just trying to figure out, like, what is the vowel and where does it go? Because all we hear is R. Well, believe it or not, there were some scientists and researchers who have actually studied this. Like, this is no April Fool's joke. I am not being silly. They have really actually studied these words. And what they've found is that the R in these words is so bossy and so controlling that all you hear is that R sound. So I want you to think for a moment about, do you know anybody who's really bossy or really controlling? And you three first grade teachers better not say, well, this is our beanie. This is kind of the, the pot calling the kettle. Like, it's not, I'm not bossy and controlling. Just to let you know. But do you know someone who is, or maybe you've seen a character or read a book about someone who's bossy and controlling? Like, they just like take over your lives. They tell you what to do. They won't let you think for yourself. It's all about them. Well, guys, guess what? R is controlling. He's so controlling. And we call these vowels that go with R, they have a special name. They're called R-controlled vowels, meaning that they are so bossy and so just over the top that they take over the vowel that's there and you can't even hear it. And so as first graders, we have to be really careful when we know that there's an R in the word and all we hear is R, there's usually a vowel that comes before it. And we have to be really careful about the vowel that we choose. So here's what you're going to do today. I want you to get your writing folder. I know we've been working on fiction writing with Mrs. Hutchinson, so you should have some writing in your folder of some type. Doesn't matter. It can even be an old piece that's not fiction. It could be one of your poems that you've pulled or one of your previous pieces. And I want you to get a pen or a very skinny marker. I prefer a pen, but if you don't have one, a very skinny marker. And I want you to go back through your writing. And you do not have to look specifically for these words, but I want you to look for words that don't look quite right with the letter R in them. I want you to look and see, are there any changes that I need to make because there's an R-controlled vowel there that you only hear R in the middle. Bird, card, storm, turn. We just hear that really strong R, and as writers, we just want to write it and move on. But then when we go back and read and we're like, this doesn't look right. I want you to spend some time today going through that writing, looking for those words, and seeing if you can make any changes that would help those R-controlled vowel words to look right as well as sound right. So that's your mission for today. Now, depending on what your teacher wants you to do, you also are getting 6, count them, 6 new snap words today. So we need to work on that as well. So you can either do this right now, or if your teacher wants you to do your snap words first, that's fine. As long as both things get done today, it doesn't matter to me what order you do them in. All right, have a great Friday, and I will see you in the snap word video in just a few moments.